So earlier today, we just got some absolutely ridiculous news for LEGO Star Wars in 2025, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into it. According to our guy Childish Landino Chronicles on Instagram, one of the most reputable leakers in the community, we are going to be getting a play-scale Jango Fett Slave 1 in August. And with this, the obvious question is, what about the UCS Jango Fett Slave 1 that's coming in May? Well, the answer is we're going to be getting both. Two Jango Fett Slave 1s in the same year, in the same summer actually. One is going to be UCS, and the other is going to be a play-scale one. And as of now, the details are that it's set number 75433, it's going to have 707 pieces and retail for $70 US, and have 3 minifigures, that being Jango, Boba, and a Kaminoan. And I want to talk about the minifigures first, and the obvious questions to me at least are, is the Jango Fett in the playset going to be the same Jango Fett that's going to be in the UCS model? And I guess the same thing could apply to the Boba Fett as well. And honestly, I have no idea. I think there's a good chance that it could be the exact same highly detailed arm printed Jango Fett that's going to come in the UCS model in May, and I think there's also a high chance it's going to be a different one that's not going to have arm printing or just be different in some way. And honestly, your best guess to the answer to that question is just as good as mine. As of now, nobody knows if it's going to be the same Jango and Boba. I assume the Kamino one will be a new figure. It could be the same one we got in 2022 though, who knows. But no matter the specific details of the figures, everyone that was complaining that the first Jango Fett in however many years was going to be in a $300 set can relax now. And honestly, I do think it's a great move on LEGO's part to release Jango Fett in 2 different sets, one expensive and one cheap. Although where it kind of rubs me the wrong way is it being the exact same ship. I mean, that's obviously going to get kind of repetitive. I think Jango Fett could have easily came in a mech or a different type of set, but hey, at least there's going to be a cheaper Jango relatively. It's still going to be $70. Now, when talking about the build itself, in my head, the most obvious comparison is the 2021 Slave 1, and as many of you guys know, I really do not like that set. I think it looks horrendous how downsized it is, but still, when talking about this new one coming in August, I think it's going to be roughly the same size as this model, just a little bit bigger maybe because it has about 100 more pieces. And speaking of it having 100 more pieces, if the information we have now is correct of it having 707 pieces for $70, that's pretty much a perfect 10 cent per piece ratio. I mean, as you guys know, I myself am not super hardcore on price per piece ratio, but there are a lot of people that are hardcore on it, and I guess you guys can be happy with this. But still, we're getting a UCS Jango Fett Slave 1, a Playscale Jango Fett Slave 1, and a Jango Fett helmet all in the same summer. I guess these 3 sets blatantly show that LEGO has been listening to the fan base, and they've been aware that we want Jango Fett, and they're kind of going overkill with their response, but hey, I'm here for it. Next up, we have some new information about the $150 MTT that is set to come out in August, and we now know it's actually confirmed to be a Clone Wars MTT, the blue and gray version, and include Commander Bly, Ayla Secura, and about 10 B1 battle droids. I want to talk about the build first, and I have to say, I'm genuinely surprised that it's actually going to be a Clone Wars MTT. I know that's what everyone was predicting when this rumor first surfaced, but if I'm being honest, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was just going to be another episode 1 MTT, but no, everyone was right besides me. It's a Clone Wars one, and I'm happy to see that, but I'm still genuinely kind of surprised. And the figures are exciting too. We're finally getting Bly, although at the same time, I'm honestly just kind of expecting to be disappointed for the obvious reasons of how they make clone troopers now. He's probably going to have a printed waist cape, and it's not going to look good, but hey, at least we're getting Commander Bly, finally. Ayla Secura, on the other hand, I'm expecting to look great. The last time they made her was in 2017, I believe, in the Republic fighter tank, and the figure looked good then, so I'm expecting it to be a new figure and look good now. And then it says we're getting around 10 battle droids, and what that says to me is that it could be a little bit less, maybe 8, or it could be a little bit more, maybe 12. The 2014 model only held 6, and as we all know, that didn't come with enough battle droids and was pretty disappointing, so hearing that this one is going to have around 10 is very promising. And when it says around 10 battle droids, I hope that means the number of battle droids that are going to fit on the actual rack itself, not including the pilots. Next up, in August, apparently we're getting another Rebuild the Galaxy set number 75414, 349 pieces with a retail price of $50, including 3 minifigures, Sig Greebling, Dev Greebling, and Duros. I don't know who that is, but if you remember a few weeks ago, this rumor was originally a turbo tank, yes, a $50 turbo tank, and now that the rumor has changed to a new Rebuild the Galaxy set, I'm honestly kind of confused. I've heard some people say that it's going to be some weird Rebuild the Galaxy version of a turbo tank, and that's why it's going to be so small, but honestly, I don't know for sure, and I don't think anyone else does either. But at the same time, I could care less about this because honestly, we don't need more sets from this show. And then lastly, as many of you guys know, the AT-AT driver helmet got revealed, and I know most of you guys have already seen this, but I just wanted to throw it in here because I haven't commented on it yet, and I think it looks freaking amazing. LEGO's reviving the helmet line with an absolute bang, even though it was canceled for like barely a year, but still, this thing just looks good. And the price point hasn't been raised either. It's still $70 with 730 pieces. The Captain Rex and Commander Cody were both $70, so that's very nice to see. And again, the build just looks great. It looks like it's got some large printed pieces on the top. Well, actually, it looks like the Imperial logos are printed, but the piece in the middle actually actually does look like a sticker to me. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to wait until I get it in person. My only complaint with the build itself is that the face area should be a bit wider in my opinion. If you look at AT-AT drivers, they do have pretty wide, goofy looking helmets, which just isn't really translating in this build. Again, it looks good. The way they did the eyes and the mouth and everything is phenomenal. I just think it needs to be a tad bit wider. But still, again, for the millionth time, overall, great set, and I'm excited to get this. Anyways, guys, that is everything we know so far. The stuff about Jango Fett and the Playscale Slave 1 is crazy to me. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the screen right now.